Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Hannah and on this channel I post a lot of anti-MLM content. I'll link a playlist here and down below. This is my big anti-MLM playlist. We are so close to our 100th video. I think we're gonna get to 100 videos this week. So if any of that kind of content does sound interesting to you, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, consider liking this video. All of those things help to support my channel and I appreciate you so much for doing that. For today's video, I am bringing you yet another MONAT Zoom call. I feel like I need to make a playlist on my channel at this point of just the MONAT Zoom calls that I've covered. There's a lot of them. I get sent them very regularly, and I personally appreciate that because in my eyes, MONAT is one of the more problematic companies, and quite frankly, I found that their Zoom calls are some of the most entertaining, and they provide a lot of information that's very useful for the anti-MLM perspective. Lots of things to debunk and disprove in here, so that's what's going on today. If you have Zoom calls from other companies, please send them to me. It's not that I'm not open to them, I just don't get sent them very regularly. But the Zoom call I have for you today is called MMB Makers Bootcamp. And MMB is referring to the rank of Managing Market Builder. This is rank 5 out of 11 on the MONAT compensation plan. And if you watch a lot of my videos and you're thinking to yourself, this sounds familiar, you would be correct. I actually did a reaction to a Zoom call very recently within the past month or so that was on this same exact topic. They were two different uplines also titling their Zoom call MMB Makers. And the purpose of the call was to focus on tips and tricks and advice on how to get the people on your team to the rank of MMB or above. So I'll link that video down below if you want to see this exact same topic handled a little bit differently from two different uplines. But in this video, there are two women. The first one that talks is the number 2 income earner in the entire company. She's basically been in the company since day one. She is at the top rank and she's in the 10 MDC, which stands for $1 Million Club, meaning that over the course of her time with MONAT, she has brought in $10 million in commissions. The second woman who's going to talk is also at the top rank of the company and is also in the MDC. She's brought in $1 million in commissions over her time with MONAT. And I give you that background so that you know kind of who we're dealing with here and what perspective they are speaking from. And I remember saying in that other MMB Maker Zoom call video, like, why are we focusing on this? Why are we having a boot camp on how to get people to rank 5 out of 11, not even halfway up the compensation plan? And this rank has a median annual income of $8,000, which I guess is not bad, but why are we not shooting for higher than that? And the conclusion that I came to in that video and with this video is that MMB is the most important rank that you need to have the people in your downline at in order for you to sit at the top. For example, here's the compensation plan, and you'll see from rank 6 through 11, all of them have this structure requirement that requires you to have people of the rank of MMB or above for you yourself to qualify for those higher ranks. So for example, if I'm trying to hit or maintain the rank of market mentor, I need to have at least 2 people on my team at the rank of MMB or above. That is why this is so important. This is why the people at the top of the company are focusing so heavily on this. It's not that MMB is like the best rank to be at or that makes the most money or is at the top of the company or anything. It's not like that. The reason that we are having an MMB boot camp is so that the people in the top ranks have the downline requirements and the right people at the right ranks so they themselves can make the most money. If their teammates below them don't hit MMB or above, these top uplines take a hit to their paychecks and their rank, and we can't have that, can we? Of course not. So here we are sitting through a 40-minute Zoom call in an attempt to get the downline members to these required ranks. I feel like that's all the background information you need to know for this, so sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's watch the madness.
All right, welcome guys. I have Samantha with me, and my name is Julie. If you've never met me, hi, nice to meet y'all. But most of you guys get to see my face quite a bit. So I've been in the company for 7 years. I hit Managing Market Builder in 4 days. So I want to tell everybody how I did it because we recruited about $24,000 worth in team sales in 6 days. So some people are like, how the heck did you do that? Well, you guys, I lost my voice on day 3. So it was like talking a lot, like a lot. And I'll never forget, like, I didn't even know what I was doing. You guys, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like talking about like the company. I was like, the company's really sound. It's a really great company. You get really great bonuses. I was just like gibbery jabbering and talking to anybody who would listen to me. And I was trying to get as many people as I could to listen. So, yeah, it was like, oh, good job, Shan. That's amazing.
She just admitted that she joined the company 7 years ago, aka pretty much the day the company launched. And she admits that she was able to rank up to the 5th rank in the company in just 4 days. And her key to success was talking to as many people as possible and sharing the details of the compensation plan bonuses and framing it like this is a ground floor opportunity that you definitely want to be a part of. She's inadvertently admitting that her timing and her ability to recruit people was the perfect recipe for her fast acceleration through the comp plan. And that kind of tells you all you need to know about these business opportunities. I would love an example of one person, just one person who's joined MONAT in the US within the last year who was able to get to the 5th rank in 4 days. I'm fairly confident that that person does not exist, because let's look at the requirements for MMB. Here's what she had to accomplish in 4 days' time to get to that rank. She had to reach $500 in personal volume, which means that she had some combination of purchasing and selling $500 worth of product. She had to recruit 4 people. Altogether, all the people in her organization had to sell or purchase $5,000 of product in 4 days. And 2 of the people she recruited had to rank themselves up to MMP. She also had to get people on her downline to hit certain requirements to rank up. I'm sorry, but that kind of opportunity does not exist today. With how bad of a reputation this company has, with how saturated the market is, with the lawsuits, with the anti-MLM commentary exposing the shady business practices. I would love to see someone attempt to recruit 4 people, get 2 of them to rank up, and then sell $5,000 worth of product in 4 days these days. I just feel like in this climate, those are completely impossible goals. This is probably impossible for a lot of people to achieve over the lifetime of their MONAT business, let alone achieve it in 4 days. There's just no way. But it's not surprising to me whatsoever that someone who joined 7 years ago was able to see those kinds of results that quickly. Of course you could hit those numbers. The recruitment pool is wide open. Nobody knows about this business yet. You have an untapped potential here. And I feel that it's my job to constantly reiterate that the convoluted advice that these top uplines give on how they got to the top is complete BS. The times have changed and things don't work like that anymore. All you need to know is that recruitment is the key. And if you are a market partner watching this right now, because hello, nice to see you, I know you watch, the thing that you need to take from this is that it is not your fault that you're not able to recruit quickly and that you're not rising in the ranks as fast as you want to be. This business was designed for only a tiny fraction of people to be able to sit at the top. And right now, the people you're looking at, the people whose advice you are trying to take, those are the people who got in early enough to benefit from this business model's design. And it's not your fault that 7 years later, it's not working out the way they're telling you it should work out.
So you guys, I'm not the only person who does it. Other people do it too. Sometimes it takes people a year to hit it. Sometimes it takes people 5 years to hit it. Some people take 5 days. It's just about like doing the right things, not waiting. And so I have a couple of notes. Sam has some notes. I'm going to go first. I'll try to keep this whole call under 30 minutes. So let me put my timer on because you guys know it'll be like 30 minutes later. And I'm like, oh crap. So sorry, Sam. Okay. So timer starting. All right. My notes. I have 3 words for you guys. Do it now. You guys are in a boot camp for MMB, right? Do it now. The faster you hit it, the more better results you'll have long-term and to continue on off after this. A lot of people hit MMB and freeze after that too. And we'll get to that part afterwards. You guys will all go through it. Like everybody will. And all my MMs go through it. All my directors go through it. There's this hurdle that you guys get over and then kind of have to take a breather. So if you're in MMP and you're feeling like, oh, I can't get to MMB or any rank in between, it's all about what you do in really quick incremental time, like really quickly amount of time. Okay. So this rank loves speed. Like, it loves speed. The faster you hit it, the better off you are. So don't wait. Every single second in your business is an opportunity.
It could be true that the people who make it to MMB quickly are the ones who do better in the long run. But here's what I always feel the need to address. The speed and the success rate at which you are able to rise in the ranks is not up to you. You do not get to decide how quickly you rank up. You don't get to decide if you rank up at all. Because what are the elements you need to rank up? You need other people to buy product, you need other people to join your team, and you need other people to hit their ranks. I say this all the time, but you can pitch your MLM 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can be a superhuman who never has to eat, sleep, or drink, and all you do every waking second is try to make the business work, and you can still only have pitched to people who don't want to buy the products and who don't want to join. This is exactly why it's not a matter of hard work. It's not a matter of work ethic. You can be the biggest hustler in the entire company and it still might not pay off for you. Because in the end, your success isn't up to you. You can't control other people. And this also, of course, emphasizes how important timing is. If it's all about sales and recruitment volume, obviously the people who joined in the unsaturated market are the ones who are going to benefit the most.
Sam's going to get to some nitty gritty, like how to do things. So on the do, here's the deal. Convos happening. That is the do. It's not just posting. It's not just making a reel. It's not just showing up to a Meet Monat. It's not thinking about your business at night. It's not thinking about your business during the day. It's doing it. It's talking to someone new about the business opportunity. People everywhere want to buy, but sometimes we're talking to the only person that doesn't want to buy. And so we don't know when those people are going to buy. So it's up to us to talk to as many people as possible, show them the opportunity, and then show them the product, which is the it. The it is selling product or selling the dream.
There you have it. You are selling a product and you are selling a dream. Emphasis on the dream part. You are selling an opportunity, a dream, a hope, a vision, none of which have guaranteed outcomes. And what she just said confirmed my last point beautifully, that this is a numbers game and your goal is to be in contact with as many people as humanly possible to seek out the diamonds in the rough who actually want what you're selling. And the point I'm trying to make is that as time goes on, as this company grows older, there are more lawsuits, it gets more bad publicity, those diamonds in the rough are going to become even more rare. And that could turn into a huge waste of your time really quickly because you cannot force people to buy stuff. You cannot force people to sign up for your business opportunity. Your dream isn't going to be achieved if there aren't other people aiding you in achieving it. How unsettling is that? To know that your rank and your paycheck is dependent on other people's choices? No, thank you.
So do it now. Now means urgency is the best policy for you guys. I do the urgency mindset a lot whenever I'm talking to someone new. Whenever I'm talking to someone that I know really well, I'm usually like, okay, so this is how I recruited my people. If you guys want to know what it was like. I found out about MONAT. It was the only hair care company at the time. I think there's a couple of others out there. I haven't found anyone to compete with us yet. Okay. And that's just bottom line. I was like, this is a huge industry, like huge. It was like second up next to electricity. The hair industry was. So I was like, no one's tapping into this. No one's doing it with network marketing. They're paying out really, really good. And so my thought was, I need to get all my family members involved. I need to get all my friends involved before this goes viral, before this goes big, because they want them on their team. They want these people that they know on their team before someone else starts talking to them about MONAT. So I didn't post for the first week. I didn't say anything on social media. It was all private messages. It was all DMs. It was all telling people like, hey, I got something big. I think you should look into it. And like when I say big, I mean like mind-blowing big, like something we've never talked about before, like something that has never been possible before. Now, today's conversation would be like big as in like, well, we have over 70 something millionaires in the company in under 7 years. No one's done that. Nobody's done that. The possibilities are there for anybody to do this. Doesn't matter how long it takes you. Someone broke it down the other day. And if you guys make $1 million in 20 years, you break it down and that's $50,000 a year. That's amazing. People are doing it in way less time.
Again, she admits to it being a numbers game. And the fact that even she recognized that when she first joined, she was like, oh wow, this is a really good opportunity for those who get in early. So I'm not gonna post about it publicly. I'm just gonna recruit everyone in my personal life, give them the best opportunity because I know it's not gonna last. And then I'll go out and start to recruit strangers before this whole thing goes, quote, viral and gets oversaturated. It's just so crystal clear that this is a pyramid scheme. And it's so fascinating to watch them admit that without thinking that they're admitting that. Next, she said the company has 70 millionaires and then went on to describe the exact opposite of what a millionaire is. The definition of a millionaire is, quote, a person whose assets are worth $1 million or more. When she says 70 millionaires, what she means to say is there are 70 people in the $1 million club, which, as I already said at the beginning of this video, that's when a person has made over $1 million in commissions over the lifetime of their business. It could take them years to achieve that. So going off this example that she just gave of someone taking 20 years to make $1 million, that does not mean that person's a millionaire. If we go off of her logic here, that would mean that all middle-class Americans are millionaires because they're most likely going to make $1 million over the course of their entire career before they retire. This doesn't make logical sense. I too am probably going to hit a point in my life where I've made over $1 million from my job. Does that make me a millionaire? No, it doesn't. The exact same thing goes for the MONAT $1 Million Club, and I feel like I have said this so many times in so many different videos, but I have to address it every time it comes up because it's so misleading and it really grinds my gears how they will take these buzzwords like millionaire, like entrepreneur, like business owner to describe what MONAT is and what it offers. But when you actually break it down and you look at the facts of it all, you realize that's completely inaccurate. So I'm sorry if that's the millionth time you've heard me say that, but I can't not say it.
Okay. So the it is selling the product and selling the dream. Then now is the urgency. If you want your tomorrow to change, you got to change today. You guys, and a lot of people will condense their times down whenever they have these like, okay, I got to run for M&B. I know it's going to be tiring. It's going to be a lot of work. That means no Netflix. That means no like scrolling on my phone. It means I'm not going to be watching Reels and TikTok. It means I'm going to be DMing people. I'm going to be making conversations. I'm going to be going to someone's profile and checking them out, seeing what they've been posting lately, DMing them. Those private conversations are everything. So if you even have time in your day where you're not doing this, I chose not to do that. Like I literally spent every second talking to someone. Every single second. You guys, I would go to bed at 3:00 in the morning and wake up at 6 a.m. the first week. Ask everybody that was involved. We were all doing the same thing. We were just talking to people. We had 80 people on our team sign up in 5 days. It was amazing. It was incredible. I talked to every single one of them. So imagine how many no's we got. We got a lot of no's. Okay.
Did you hear that? To be successful in MONAT, you're not allowed to watch Netflix, no scrolling on social media, only get 3 hours of sleep a night, and you must spend every waking moment cold messaging people asking them if they want to be a boss babe like you. Where do I sign up?
Going on to my next notes. So start where you are with the skill that you have. And this is a little story that I want to tell you guys a little bit about my background if you don't know. So I'm a $10 million earner today. I did really well in the first couple of years, and then I'd have a downfall year, and then I'd have a good year, and then I'd have 2 bad years. So this just happens with every business owner and anyone who's ever found success. Well, for me, my biggest downfall in this business was I was super introverted. I was not smart, you guys. Like I had a lot of things that should have like basically held me back from even talking to anybody and keeping all my confidence away. I didn't have money. I didn't have pretty hair. I didn't have an influence. I didn't even have a social media following. I had a couple of friends, like literally, I think two friends at the time. Okay. They're still my friends today. But the only thing that I really had going for me was the fact that I felt like I wasn't smart enough to do this on my own. I felt like I wasn't good enough to reinvent the wheel. And so because of the things that I lacked and because of the confidence, it was actually turning out to be my biggest asset in this business. Anybody can do this as long as they're willing to learn. And that's what I was willing to do. So my biggest tip for you guys is if you want a bigger check, then listen to the ones with bigger checks. Take the advice from them. Model what they do. A lot of people want to earn the checks that people are making, but they're really not willing to go through all those hours.
People aren't willing to go through all those hours because it's a waste of time. The theme of this video, the opportunity is not as good today as it once was. So when people are taking your advice and they're staying up until 3 a.m. cold messaging people and it's not working, what do you expect them to do? How long is somebody expected to keep trying to force something that isn't going to work? Because ultimately there's going to be a point where people in this company are coming to the realization like, okay, look, I've given it a fair shot. I have taken all of the advice. I have applied the advice. I have worked myself into the ground. It's still not working out as well as I thought, and it's time to move on. That's a huge reason why people quit. It's not because they're lazy or because they didn't want it bad enough. It's because the odds weren't in their favor. And while we're at it, can we please stop glorifying hustle culture? It's not healthy or normal to be depriving yourself of sleep, of rest, of downtime. All that's gonna do is burn you out, especially when we're talking about MLMs and the fact that most people can't be successful no matter how hard they try.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of conversations. It's a lot of mental back and forth. Like, what is this person thinking? Why is this person ghosting me? These things are going to go through your mind all day long. Detach yourself from the outcome and marry the process. Fall in love with the process. And those who have fun with growing themselves in the process, realizing how simple it is, it really is just about getting your friends and offering them something that they don't have. This is such an amazing opportunity. You guys have got girls who are making $1 million, in a couple of years, but I got some girls who are just making like $500 to $1,000 a month, and it's kept them afloat. It's really, really changed their life. So we need more thousandaires. We need everybody making thousand or more. And then all you have to do is model that behavior to the people that you bring in and teach them the same exact concept. Look, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've already got people busting millionaire checks, okay? But you can do this as long as you just rinse and repeat what the people who before you are doing.
Please look at this chat while she's saying all of this garbage. This is truly what makes me so sad. This is what bothers me the most, is to see that people are actually listening to this and taking it seriously. Because to me, and I'm sure to a lot of you watching this video, it's so clear to us that this is a bunch of crap. She might as well be the teacher in Charlie Brown, just wah, 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 wah. But there's actually people who are listening to this and they're like, oh my God, this is fire. Yes, so good. Oh! And please understand that I'm not discouraging people from having goals or having dreams or being fired up about something. I'm just feeling really sad that these people's goals and dreams are focused around this scammy business model where the odds are stacked against them from the very beginning. It just makes me really upset to see this kind of energy and excitement not being directed towards something that's gonna be more productive for them. Think of what all of these people could do if they took this level of drive and applied it to something that wasn't a pyramid scheme.
And so that's all I did. I did what Anne was doing. I got people on the phone with Anne. She would do a conference call, and she's still doing it today, you guys. She's still doing the Meet Monates on Thursdays. So that was like a lot of pressure off me. I was like, oh, good, because I don't know how I'm going to say all that stuff as convincing as Anne. Like, I'm not really good at this. And so I would put everybody on Anne's call. And then anything that I lacked, I tried to bring in those types of people into my business. If I didn't know much about hair, I tried to recruit someone who was super knowledgeable about hair. And I'm like, hey, I know this comp plan front and back. I will totally take this part of the business. I'll help you. I'll mentor you. I'll make sure you're maximizing your check. But you're going to have to tell me what the heck a cuticle is. Like, I don't even know what in the world, like, I'm talking about right now. I have no idea. All I know is that it lathers different. And that's okay, you guys. Our shampoo's used differently. Yes, it's really, really scientifically involved in everything, but I'm still not good with those details.
Our shampoo is just used so different and it's so scientific. I don't even really know how it works. It's shampoo. How complicated can it be? I don't know about you, but I have never encountered a shampoo bottle with directions that I could not understand and follow. It's really not that hard. But the reason that they say their shampoo is so different, it's so scientific, there's different steps and there's a technique to it. They're only saying that so that they can use that as the rebuttal for when people come to them and say, hey, this shampoo doesn't work very well. And then they can say, hey, you just didn't use it right.
Now, I can get the details, and I do get the details. I grab it all from my back office. Sometimes I'll ask a friend if I'm quick, and because I got Sarah, I have some secrets in my pocket with her. No, she's literally, she's like my secret weapon. I'm like, hey, you've used the products the most. She's used the products the most on as many people hair as, anyone else probably in the company, because she did the most wine and washes. So anytime I needed some advice or ask her help, I would just like, hey, or I would go see what Monica is doing about curly hair. And then I can show people how to teach people how to do curly hair tutorials. I didn't have to know it all. I didn't have to be everything. I was telling everyone I knew to use the volume line because my hair is baby fine. I didn't know I was supposed to recommend the balance line for some girls, or the Renew shampoo or the smoothing line. But I still did it. I made mistakes. I was vulnerable. I wasn't scared to make mistakes. I just knew that they would happen and I expected them. So that way, whenever they did come, I can hurdle over them. And then I'd try to help my team not get them. So every single moment in your business matters. Just do it now. When I say do it now, remember the now. The now is important. If someone comes across your mind after you get off this call, you need to be writing them. You need to be sending a message, break the ice, see how they're doing, catch up, bring up your business, say, this is why I'm writing you. This might be for you. I don't know if it's the right timing or not, but I have to offer it because it wasn't the right timing for me when I started, but I took it and I ran with it. And I didn't have the skills, you guys. I didn't have the know-how. I didn't have a lot to offer in the beginning, but I had a big heart for helping people. All of my friends were broke. All of my friends were hungry. All of my friends were struggling. And that's what I had in this business that really made me flourish is I tried to help those people who needed it the most. And I told them, I do whatever it takes. If I have to get smarter, I'll get smarter. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll do this with you. And yeah. So anyway, okay.
Another thing that MLM reps do that I cannot stand is make it seem like recruiting people is doing them a service. And it's something they're just doing out of the goodness of their heart to help their friends and family get out of a rough place. And I do believe that there are people in these companies who truly think in their hearts that they are doing the right thing ethically by offering other people this opportunity and then recruiting them. It is absolutely possible that some people, especially the people who have made a lot of money, truly do think that they are going to help people. But I also think that for some MLM reps, it's more of a cognitive dissonance kind of thing. It's like they know in their heart that what they have to do is recruit other people in order for them to gain financially, and that feels really icky to them. So instead, they justify it by saying, oh, well, this is helping people. And oh, if they're not seeing success, that's not my fault. They just aren't working hard enough. It must be a problem with them. You can't blame me for the fact that they're losing money in this scheme. It just bothers me when they frame the business opportunity as a gift they're giving someone, because at the end of the day, it's just a selfish act to make more money, whether or not they want to accept, acknowledge, or take responsibility for that.
Surround yourself with people you look up to the most. And you guys, if you don't have the kind of people that you still feel like are lacking in a way or whatever, you guys, I used books. I used YouTube videos. I used podcasts. I tried to put this stuff in my head all the time because if I didn't, I would slack. Literally, I would slack. I've heard this guy say once, one year I got up on stage and I had read 8 books that year or something like that. It was less than 10. Okay. I read 8 books this year. I'm making 6 figures a year. Yay, everyone's cheering. And so this guy gets off stage and a couple of years later, he comes back on and he's like, I'm making 7 figures a year. And they're like, what did you do different? The only thing he did different was he's reading 32 books a year now.
All right, let's add read 32 books a year to the list of things you need to do to apparently be successful in MONAT. But in all seriousness, I don't think reading books is bad, obviously. I don't even think that self-development is inherently a bad thing. But I think the industry of network marketing has given those things a bad reputation because they'll often preach stuff exactly like this. You need to be engaging in self-development and reading books and listening to podcasts and watching YouTube videos and otherwise brainwashing yourself if you want to grow as an individual and be successful in this company. But again, what is the true key to success in MONAT? Recruitment. And no matter how much you brainwash yourself with self-help materials, it's ultimately not going to have an impact on how many people say yes to your pitch. The key is recruitment. Everything else here is just fluff.
What you put in your mind is going to grow in your paycheck and it's going to reflect onto your team. So dig into yourself in the meantime, but don't spare any moment and don't feel like you have to be an expert in this business. I'm still not an expert. I still rely a lot on the company. And you guys, if I want to do this right, guess what? The pride's got to go away. I can't be too smart for this. If I know it all, I can only recruit know-it-alls or else they won't be as good as me. So because I put myself on the bottom of the totem pole, I realize I only have a few skills. That's recommending great product for people, making them happy. And that's recommending an amazing business opportunity and getting people to dream bigger, because that was what was done for me. I didn't expect to ever make more than $20,000 a month, ever. I never thought that I would even hit that. That was my big, huge, hairy, audacious goal. That was the scariest thing in my life, to say, I want $20,000 a month. I couldn't do it. And guess what? Someone had to come in and tell me, no, we made this compensation plan. We built this business and we structured it from the ground up with $1 million a month incomes in mind. And that still blows me away. But if I can make $1,000 into $10,000, and if I can show people how to do the same thing, your $10,000 turns into $100,000.
And that, my friends, is a fat income claim, and it's against the MONAT policy to be saying something like that. She also said that the MONAT compensation plan was built for $1 million a month incomes in mind. That is ridiculous. The most that somebody in this company has ever made in a year is $3.5 million, which, don't get me wrong, that is so much money, but only one person out of the entire company achieved that level. But you can't say that the compensation plan was designed for people to make $1 million a month when that has literally never happened before. And you know what? Maybe we can give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she misspoke. I misspeak all the time. Maybe she meant to say a year and not a month. But regardless, this is why income claim policies exist. You cannot be out here throwing around those kinds of numbers when they're not even accurate or achievable for anyone.
Look at the bigger picture here. It's really crazy when we get discouraged on a day-to-day basis, and the nitty-gritty can kind of get in our heads. But if your dream is so big, it is in your vision every single day, you won't see anything else and no one's going to stop you. So stay dreaming big about the things that you want. I promise you can get them, but it's going to take the work. It's going to take the do it nows every hour, every day, every second you have to spare. And the more you put into this, the more you're going to get out, but you have to dump into yourself first. And so that's all I have to say tonight. And Sam is going to go into, she's got some really great notes. I was looking over them, but she's going to go into some nitty gritty stuff and just take every advice that you can from these girls. And Sam, especially, you guys, I've learned a lot from her. I've collaborated a lot with her. And what I mean by collaboration is that sometimes my motivation and my inspiration comes from talking to someone like her. Like, we get on the phone and it fires us both up. And yeah, we're not both always fired up every day, you guys, but we do it together. So whenever you're sparking with people, you can cause a fire. And so Sam is one of those girls that do it for me. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to hear from her. Sam, go ahead and take it away, honey.
Oh, thank you. Okay. That was amazing. And everything she said was like spot on. And Julie, I remember when you came for my launch party and you showed me the comp plan and you were like, and this is SCD and this is how much it is. And I like literally spit out my drink and I was like, that's cute, but that'll never happen for me. Okay. Well, we did it in like 10 months. So you guys have to just be willing to have that voice in your head that's like, okay, that's cute. But deep down, you have to be like, I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And that's really what it takes for any rank, whether it's SED or MM or MMB or even MMP. It comes down to making a decision if you want to do something. So I was preparing notes for this and I'm kind of like, well, this is a boot camp. So maybe we should be a little tough. Like, maybe I should just like go for it. I'm not like a beat around the bush type of person. But so I'm just going to give it to you guys straight of what I think it takes to get to MMB. And the first and most important thing is you have to make the decision to come into this at like a level 10 commitment, because if you don't, you're not only going to take longer to hit your goals, but will you even hit your goals? Because this business loves momentum. And if you want to create momentum, you have to be the person to start that. And momentum isn't created by being consistently inconsistent, right? I hear this all the time. Well, I tried to do this and it didn't work. Okay, I'm going to try again. And then you quit. And then you try again. And it's exhausting. Like, anybody who's done that or been around that, put in the chat, because it happens. We allow ourselves to get stopped by the trivial things of life. I don't have time. And then on the other hand of things, we get so frustrated when our prospects tell us they don't have time. And I'm like, hello, we got to like practice what we preach here.
But 10 minutes ago, the conversation was all about how this first woman only got 3 hours of sleep a night and was hustling her business all day long and spending every waking moment cold messaging people. But now we're saying, I don't have time for that is not a valid excuse. If that's what it takes to be successful, I'm pretty sure most people don't have time for that. And more importantly, most people don't have the time to waste trying to be successful at something that statistically is most likely not going to work out for them. So here's your PSA that I don't have time is a perfectly valid excuse as to why you wouldn't want to join an MLM company, and you don't have to explain yourself any further because it's already been made very clear to us multiple times on this call that when you join, this is going to overtake your entire life. And yeah, most people don't have time for that.
Right? So if you guys want to get to MMB, like literally the first thing is to make the decision that you're going to do it. So any of you guys who are either going for MMB the first time, re-ranking to MMB, or you're trying to get to maybe AMM or MM, when is that happening? When are you going to hit that rank? Do you know? Or are you just hoping to hit it? Like maybe this summer, hoping to hit it. When are you hoping to hit it? When are you going to? I can't even see the chat. Can't even see it. I don't even know. Okay. When you have to know when you're going to hit it, because if you're dreaming of a goal and that MMB goal, if you're dreaming of that, but you don't have a deadline on it, good luck. Just going to be real with you guys. Good luck. Okay. You need to have a deadline. And if that scares you to put a deadline on it, good. Because you need something to put a little fire underneath you. And if that deadline is that thing, then do it.
Yeah, good luck, because it's going to be impossible to put a deadline on when you're going to be able to convince other people to join your pyramid scheme.
Now, my next question. Who knows in your household and in your circle when you're hitting that goal? Does your spouse know? More importantly, does your family know what it's going to take for you to hit that goal? Because if you're out there trying to do this by yourself and you've got a family that you have to take care of, and you have a husband or a wife or a partner or whatever that you have to take care of, and they don't know what type of commitment this takes, good luck. Okay? They have to know what's going on. This is a family business. My family knows at 8 p.m. when my door is shut, sometimes my dogs come in, but like you don't come in. Okay. This is what I'm doing. This is what provides for my family. I came into this business broke as a joke, you guys. I was 10 months behind on my mortgage and the whole story, like literally almost homeless. Okay. I had no job that was providing for me. I also could not afford daycare. So I didn't have an option. I went all in with this business. And like Julie said, those hours she said, going to bed at 3 a.m, getting up at 6, that's real. That is a real thing. And whatever you want to put into this, you have to gauge that for yourself. How bad do you want this? Because it takes work. And right now, in my opinion, the world is in a place where people are saying it's okay to settle. And in my opinion, that is not okay. You get one life, you get one opportunity to make something of this. Okay, you get one opportunity to make this life something you want, that you can look back on and say, I am proud of the life I've created. One opportunity. Okay, there's no redos here. And this business is so much more than selling products, right? And building a team and hitting a rank. It's so much more than that. It is life altering. And I think you guys know that, right? And it's going to look different for every single one of us. But you have to commit to the process and take plan B. I don't know if somebody's not muted. Vicky, could you mute yourself, please? You have to take plan B off the table. Okay, there cannot be a plan B, because if you have a plan B, you're going to be okay with the results you're not getting in the moment. But down the road, you're going to look back and you're going to kick yourself. You know you will. You are going to totally regret if you don't commit to your goals. Well, you got to know what that is. Okay, and maybe MMB, you're all going for that, right? Some of you guys are beyond MMB on here, I know that, but you have to know what the heck you're going for, and you have to be willing to commit to it and take everything else off the table. That means saying no to things for a little while. That means not being social for a little while. Obviously do things for your business, but if your friends want to go out and party, no, that stuff doesn't happen. I'm 36 almost, I don't do that anyways, but that type of stuff, a social negotiable event, it doesn't interest me because I'm in like, I told my son tonight, he's like, Mom, I want to play football. I was like, okay, I have a call at 8. We've got 40 minutes. Let's go outside. Let's play. Okay. I've got family things that I need to do. But right now I said, honey, it's business building season for mommy right now. And it's going to be so amazing when I come to the end of what I'm doing right now. Right. Because I'm going through a 90-day push and I know it's going to be amazing after this. And he understands that. He's 8 and he understands that. He gets my time and then it's mommy's time to work and he goes and gets ready for bed or whatever. Okay. You have to have that. You have to be willing to prioritize your life, to prioritize your time management. Otherwise, this is never going to work. And then you're going to be frustrated.
So again, with this work-life balance thing, it feels like if you join an MLM business opportunity, you are going to be heavily encouraged to abandon work-life balance and to let this MLM business opportunity overtake your entire life. And it's framed as like grind now and enjoy the benefits later. But what about the majority of people at the bottom ranks where those benefits never come? She said that she's going through this 90-day push, which in MLM terms typically means for 90 days, you're running yourself into the ground in one way or another. You have tasks you're trying to complete. You have ranks you're trying to hit. You're kind of cutting out this chunk of your life that you were dedicating completely to the MLM. And again, I'm a freaking broken record over here. You only make money if you recruit or sell. What if you get to the end of your 90-day push and you haven't found any new customers or you haven't recruited any new people? Then whoops, you just wasted 3 months of your life. Sorry about that. Just keep in mind that if you're unable to hit these goals due to oversaturation, you're never going to get to a point where your hard work has paid off. You can work yourself into the ground for quite literally absolutely nothing.
Okay, so hopefully these are things you guys are writing down of like, okay, I need to time manage better. I need to time block. You need to do all those things and you need to not only talk about doing them, but you need to actually do them. Okay, so what is one thing that you can implement maybe even tonight that you haven't been doing before? Or something you could implement tomorrow? Just one thing at a time, you guys. Add one thing every single day that you can do and work on it. Will the switch happen overnight? If you're somebody who's really struggling right now, will the switch happen overnight? No. But if you can add one thing every single day, your business will grow and it will grow over and over and over and over. Okay. Because in MONAT, the one thing that's going to make you proud of your business is getting the results that you kind of have to force yourself to do, right? Because when you lead the way and you show how to get results, you're automatically showing other people what's possible. So maybe you're coming to this call right now and you're like, okay, I can get myself to work, but I can't get anybody else to work. I just can't get them to do anything. Lead by example, build it, and they will come. Okay, I know that sounds cheesy, but seriously, when you have the mentality that you are going and I'm going, whether you come with or not, you will attract people who have that same mindset. I don't want to work with people who don't want to work. Okay, I don't want to work with people that I have to drag along this whole entire time. I give people energy who give me energy back. Otherwise, like, I don't have time for it. In this business, it's black and white. Okay. I see all too often so many people who treat this like a hobby and then get frustrated that they don't get career results.
In my opinion, this is a classic example of victim blaming. The blaming of people who aren't able to make the business work, yet those people are simply just victims of a business model designed for them to fail. The blame is always easier placed on the individuals rather than the business model, because of course no one wants to admit that they're involved in a scam, right? No one wants to admit that MONAT's a scam. Don't blame MONAT, it's not the company's fault. It has nothing to do with how the compensation plan is designed, or the fact that recruitment is heavily emphasized, yet recruitment is impossible because of oversaturation. No one wants to admit any of that. So instead, the blame is deflected onto the individuals as if it's a personal problem. It must be an issue with you as to why you're struggling. It makes me sick. And also, she's shaming people for not making money because they're only putting in a part-time effort. But what about how anyone can make time for this? I thought this was supposed to fit into the pockets of my day. I thought this was just making money from my phone, sharing products I love. And it's just so simple and anyone can do it. And what's coming out right here on this call is that all of those things are a lie. That's a bait and and switch tactic. Before you join the company, it's framed as something that is so easy, anyone can do it. Just do it in the parts of your life where it fits, work it part-time, make a supplemental income. But then once you join and you are doing it part-time and you're not getting great results and you're sitting on these Zoom calls where they're telling you that, well, you're just not working hard enough. You can't expect to see results if you're not dedicating your entire life to this. That is called a bait and switch. The narrative flips on you once you join. In fact, I have an entire video dedicated to this one topic of bait and switching. It's the 10 different ways that they'll rope you in and then switch it on you when you join an MLM. I can link that video below if you want more details about this specific manipulation tactic.
If your boss said to you, you need to be on a Zoom at 8 p.m., it's mandatory, what would you do? When you have kids at home, whatever, you would say, spouse, I need you to watch the kids for 30 minutes. I just need 30 minutes. I have to be on this call. When you treat this business that serious, you're going to start getting intentional results, because you can't be half in. Our old RSD used to say, 1 foot in the door, 1 foot on a banana peel. And I'd never heard that before, but it's so true. Like, you're just waiting to slip to have some excuse as to why you failed again. Right. And the banana peel was there. Oh, and we always look for these excuses and we always look for these reasons as to why so-and-so didn't work. So I didn't hit my rank.
That's literally how it works. If so-and-so doesn't hit their rank, neither do you.
Show up as yourself, show up as what you can control. And the ones who get that, they will follow, but you have to do your part and you have to be consistently going after the things you want, right? No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to turn off Netflix. And I will tell you guys, if you know more about what the Kardashians are doing than you do what personal development book you should be reading, there is a big answer as to why you're not hitting your goals right now. Okay, I get it. We all have lives. We all want to relax. But you also have to spend the time away from your 9 to 5. If you guys have 9 to 5s, you have to spend the weekends after work building your dream. Do not spend that time trying to escape your 9 to 5. Because what time is left to build the life you want? And if you're not willing to do it when you're tired, when you're maybe not ready, when are you going to do it, right? If not now, then when? Because your success is up to you, but first you have to get out of your own way. So you have to ask yourself, what is really holding you back, right? Ask yourself, what is really helping or what is really holding you back? Because growth is uncomfortable. And most of the time we will lie to ourselves because it's easy, right? It's really easy to go to bed at the end of the night and say, yeah, I did everything I could. And in the back of your mind, you're like, no, I didn't. I could have done a lot better, but it's fine. I'll do better tomorrow. And that repeats every single night when you go to bed, right? You can lie to yourself. It's easy, but how does that feel? My goal every day with this business is to go to bed proud of the work I've done and not say, oh, today got away from me again. That's a slippery slope, and you will go down a very slippery, dark, black hole that is hard to crawl out of. Okay. I've gone down that hole before. It's hard to get out of. It's very hard to get out of. Just save yourself now. Don't go down that hole. Get yourself, like, if you're literally, if you're laying in bed and you're like, I should get up and work right now, get up and do something. Get up and do something before you go to bed. Only you can make that decision. So ask yourself, what is actually holding you back? Because your head is going to lie to you every single day.
So your head is lying to you. You need to work instead of sleep. You need to work instead of relaxing in the evenings and on the weekends. And you're going to head towards a deep, dark hole of depression if you don't do MONAT. Everything that she's saying in this segment is based on the assumption that the people watching hate their 9 to 5s and that is something they want to escape from. And here I am playing devil's advocate and saying that not every person hates their 9 to 5. Hate to break it to you. Do some people hate it? Sure. Do some people love it? Yes. But the point is that within the culture of MLMs, 9 to 5 jobs are demonized. They're made out to be these terrible, bleak, robotic, cubicle hellholes that everyone wants to find their way out of. And we have to acknowledge and give space for the people who don't have that experience. And in fact, this is going to get really real for a second. In fact, I have been told by multiple MONAT market partners that it was this exact kind of language and discussion around demonizing 9 to 5s and and here's why you should quit, and here's why you should join MONAT full time. It's this exact conversation that has prompted multiple market partners to leave the company. That has been alleged to me on multiple occasions, where this was the first red flag where they're like, why are these people trying to get me to quit my job? I was under the impression that I was joining this fun little side gig thing, and you're joining this community of like-minded women and sharing products you love and making a little extra money. But then you join, and now you're spending your evenings and weekends on Zoom calls with these mega uplines that are telling you that your goal should be to quit your 9-to-5 and that you need to be making sacrifices and hustling. And to a lot of people, that is a turnoff. If I was in a position where I genuinely loved my 9-to-5 and now I'm spending my evenings on these calls with my uplines shaming me that I'm just not working my biz hard enough, I too would be like, screw this, I'm out. I don't need this anyway. I'm perfectly happy and fulfilled outside of this company. Thank you very much.
Right. So maybe Tony Robbins will talk about this at MONAT, but one of the things that he preaches on a lot is that you need to understand that your brain is not created to like push you to do things that are uncomfortable. It's created to keep you safe. So when you're nervous or like want to do something new, your brain's going to try to talk you out of it every single time. That's its job, to keep you alive, right? To make you not feel scared. You have to take control of your brain, and you have to take control of your emotions around this business. You're either going to show up for the job or you're not. Okay. It's kind of like when I grew up as an athlete, and my coach would always say, when you walk through the doors of that gym, you're an athlete now. Like, you're part of the team. I don't care what gossip's happening. I don't care how you feel. Like, you are in the dojo, right? Like, you're in the zone. You have to put that same mentality on your business, because your brain, whatever you allow it to believe, it's going to believe, and it's going to like infect your brain, either a good way or a bad way. And you have to decide if you're willing to tolerate the way that you feel towards your business, good or bad, right? You get what you tolerate. You guys, I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. So when they announced he was coming, I literally almost peed my pants. Like, I was so excited. You get what you tolerate. That's one thing he always says, right? If you're going to complain about something, but you're not willing to do anything about it, I don't feel bad for you, because you're not doing anything about it when you're fully capable.
We're gonna go down a bit of a Tony Robbins tangent right here. Hang with me. She brought him up a couple of times, and that's why I want to talk about it. Tony Robbins is significant in this situation because he's a pretty famous, like, motivational speaker, self-help guru type person. He sells master classes and seminars for hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars. And MLM boss babes are all about Tony Robbins, right? He is the self-help god they all look up to, because a lot of what he speaks on relates to multi-level marketing in the sense that you are in control of your own destiny and you have the power to create your own outcomes, and everything in life is a result of your hard work and that kind of thing. If I'm being totally honest, I don't know much about Tony Robbins outside the context of MLMs. All I really know about him is what people in MLMs will say, but what I do know and what I can tell you is that he has been hired by MONAT to come to MONATions to speak. MONATions is the company's annual convention, conference, whatever you want to call it. And this is an event where the market partners pay to attend. I have an entire deep dive style video on last year's MONATions. I can link that below too. And I plan to have an updated version of that video this year once MONATions happens. But they've hired Tony Robbins as the keynote speaker. And this is a huge topic of discussion within the company right now. The market partners are framing it like, OMG, it's Tony Robbins. He's gonna come and give us a masterclass at MONATions, which is such a steal, because MONATions only cost $250, which is so much cheaper than what Tony Robbins charges. That is the narrative right now that I've been seeing over and over again. The uplines are hyping up the fact that Tony Robbins is going to be at MONATions and how that kind of increases the value of this ticket, of this experience. And that should be a huge incentive for you as to why you want to go. But mind you, MONATions doesn't happen until September, but the MONAT market partners are being highly encouraged to purchase their tickets now, 4 months early. And the Tony Robbins thing is the selling point that they're hammering home, and here's why I think that is. They announced that Tony Robbins is going to be speaking, and the talk of the town is like, buy your ticket now to see Tony Robbins at MONATions. What a great deal. And I want to be clear about a couple things. That number one, you can buy your ticket up until the day of the event. Point number two is that it's very unlikely this is going to sell out. It didn't sell out last year. And point number three is that from now until the event, the ticket price is not going to increase. increase. Like, there really is no reason why you have to buy your ticket right now, right now, right now. They are most likely still going to be available at the same price right up until the event happens. But in my opinion, uplines are encouraging their team to buy tickets this moment and using Tony Robbins as the incentive to create a sunk cost fallacy. A sunk cost fallacy is the phenomenon where you stick with something for way longer than you otherwise would because you feel like you've invested too much into it to leave. This fallacy is what entraps a lot of people in MLMs in general. It's this idea of, well, I've already spent this many months in this company, I've already spent this much money in this company, I've already put all this time and energy into it, I might as well stick it out, I might as well keep going. Because you don't want all that time and money and energy to be for nothing. But then what ends up happening is the people stay in the company longer and they end up wasting even more time and money than they otherwise would if they had just gotten out beforehand. So as all of this pertains to Monations, I think that this big push to buy your ticket now is a way to kind of entrap people in the business opportunity for at least 4 more months. Because think about it, if you spend $250 on a ticket right now, and then over the course of the summer, you're kind of disenchanted with the company, you kind of want to leave, then you're going to remember, crap, I already spent $250 on this ticket. They're non-transferable conveniently. I might as well just stick it out and get my money's worth and go see Tony Robbins, right? I don't have any hard stats on this, but I would imagine that the people who bought their Monations tickets early have a much higher likelihood of remaining in the company until September, until they go to Monations. So what I'm saying is I feel like this is kind of an intentional strategy on the upline's part, where they're like, if I can get the people on my team to financially commit to going to Monations in September, then cool. There's a pretty good chance I've got them on my team for 4 more months, and that's going to ultimately benefit me financially. So I know that all of that was a bit of a tangent off of what she was saying in the call, but I've been seeing Monations and Tony Robbins popping up more and more in the conversation, and I think it's important to talk about why.
This business is not hard, you guys, right? Would you rather go to a job that's physically exhausting all day or do this? Like, let's be real. You just have to get yourself into the rhythm of doing things. So you have to challenge yourself. Stop hearing the negative, stop seeing the negative, stop going out looking for things that don't serve you. And instead, when you feel the anxiety, the nervous, the fear, all the things come into your head and your stomach, like pit in your stomach, you have to recognize it and pivot. When you learn how to do that, I will tell you guys, when I learned to do that, my life changed forever. It changed forever just by learning how to recognize the feelings, seeing them for what they were, which is a lie, and talking out loud of what the truth is. I am capable. I can do things. I do have the ability. I could talk to people on my phone if I wanted to, right? Those are all things you have to decide if you're willing to do or not. Nobody's going to do it for you.
She's saying that when you get that pit in your stomach of nervousness and anxiety surrounding the business, that you need to, quote, see the feelings for what they are, a lie. Again, just playing devil's advocate here, but in my opinion, what she's describing is a gut feeling, an instinct, an intuition, none of which should be ignored. Of course, something can be really, really great for you and also nerve-wracking. That's true. But it is important to be able to discern between this nervous energy about something that's really good for you and this gut feeling that something's just not right. And in the case of an MLM business opportunity, I have a sneaking suspicion that the pit in your stomach you're feeling is more likely attributed to the red flags that you're noticing. And I personally think that those things should be paid attention to. If you're going along and something's not feeling right, I urge you to investigate that and not to ignore it or not to just deem it to be your mind lying to you or whatever she said, because those gut instincts are often what get people to kind of step outside of the business and to gather some other information, which potentially runs the risk of a person wanting to leave the company, which obviously she doesn't want. So she's saying when you get that gut instinct, just ignore it. It's a lie.
Okay. I'm all off my notes now, but I better hurry up. Okay. You all can be successful. You all can hit MMB. You just have to be smart about it. You have to strategize. You have to put a plan in place, because you can get to MMB flying by the seat of your pants. You can, but you won't stay there for very long. And that's never a fun thing to do, right? You get there and then you get defeated. And that's when people quit, is because they're like, oh, well, this isn't real or something. It's like, no, you just didn't prepare yourself. You didn't push yourself. You didn't equip yourself. And we have all the tools. Like Julie said, we have incredible people. We have incredible resources. We will never run out of resources, but so many people don't even use them. I'm like, come on, like, let's just be smart about this. So
the sentiment behind what she just said is that it's hard to rank up, but it's even harder to stay there. So here's your reminder that your goals reset every single month in an MLM. You never truly make it to a rank where you just get to kick your feet up and enjoy your position in the pyramid and all the wealth and freedom that that brings you. No, you're constantly fighting to re-earn that position, to re-rank every single month. And honestly, to me, these types of Zoom calls are these uplines' ways of constantly fighting to remain where they are at the top. The purpose of this call is to get the downline members to MMB. And who does that benefit the most? Them. That's the motivation behind every action in these companies. The purpose behind everything you do is to hit and maintain ranks.
Everything in your life is a choice. You get to make either one. But the moral of this story that I wanted to share with you guys was you have to stop disqualifying yourself. You have to decide to go for this and forget everything else that's ever made you limit the beliefs you have. Take action and stop validating your excuses, because eventually they're going to stop making sense to you, right? Stop validating your own excuses, because eventually they're going to stop making sense to you, right? You all have what it takes, okay? MMB, you guys can do this month. There's no reason every single one of you guys can't go MMB this month. Julie did it in 4 days. I think I did it in 2 weeks, maybe, when I joined. A girl on my team, I've had people do it in like 5 days. And you can do that. You can absolutely do it. Get with your upline, tell them what you're doing and say, I'm ready to go. Let's go. What do I got to do? If they're not willing to help you, keep going up the totem pole. There's somebody who's willing to help you. Trust me, I hope everyone on my team here, after this call comes and like bombards me and they're like, I want to go MMB. I'm ready. Like, I hope everybody does that. Right? Because we can make a plan and we can do it, you guys, but you can't wait for your boss. You can't wait for your upline to be like, hey, just wondering if you want to go MMB. That's not how this works. You're an adult. Take control of your business and go after it. Go after it. Okay. All right. That's all I got. I'm like sweating, really sweating, you guys. I'm so into this right now.
That's why you are where you are, though. You are so good at speaking. Someone said that they need to get a hold of Tony Robbins so he can work with you directly, because you're amazing. You just are so inspiring. Okay, thank you for everything. Like everything that you said. You guys feel like you could do this. If you don't feel like you could do this, trust the people and believe the people who will speak life over you. That's what I had to do. Okay, you don't have to know it all. You don't have to be great at this. You just have to do a lot of it. That's a lot of work. Okay, so Des said something in here, and then I'll close this out. Des brought up something that Luis did for me years ago. And this is a Louis Vuitton wallet that they gave me. And this is your inspiration for the night to keep you guys up. So he gave me this little wallet and flew us to Miami in a private jet. 4 years ago? Was it 4 years ago? Okay, inside this wallet, I've kept it in there. My heart races every time I pull it out, you guys. Like really bad. In here, he has 2 checks that he gave me. And it's like, they're fake checks or whatever. The first one is what I made when I hit MMB. The next one in here, and I'm not going to show it on here because I'm not going to get in trouble, is 100 times greater. So take your check that you just made on the 15th and times it by 100. What is it? It's a big freaking number. I'm sure it's huge. That's what you guys are capable of doing. So the MMB rank is important, because how you hit it is how you're going to have to teach hundreds of people how to do it. And the cool thing is that you can do it in mass quantities like this. You don't have to do it alone. You have us to help you. So throw your people into the fold of what we're doing, get into action, decide you're going to do this every single day. We're here to hold your guys' hand as long as you're running with us, because I'm not going to hold your hand on a bench. I'm running. We've got you want to call it your 90 days? I've got girls who are on their second 90-day sprint and they're getting results from it. So I call it just putting your head down and going to work. Do the things that you need to do to make this happen for you. You will get no's. You have to hurdle over them and go for the yeses, because sometimes one yes is worth the thousands of no's that you guys got. Right? So yeah, Sam, is there anything else that you want to add on here?
And that is love bombing and income claims. It's funny how she's like, I'm not going to tell you the amount because I don't want to get myself in trouble because it's not allowed. But earlier in the call, she was telling us that the compensation plan was made for people to make $1 million a month. Just ridiculous. But love bombing, income claims, both very, very prominent tactics used to overinflate the opportunity. The CEO taking his top earners in the company and flying them on a private jet and giving them extravagant gifts. That is an example of love bombing. It goes one step past just recognition, and it enters into this territory of trying to influence a person to act in positive ways for the company. Over-the-top gestures like this are a way for the company to make it appear like they really care about their reps, and I guess they probably do really care about these reps, the ones that are making them the most money. But this is a step further than just saying, hey, we appreciate you, thank you for being here, thank you for all you do. This example of love bombing is intentional to influence the people at the top of the company to stay in the company for longer. And in the process of staying longer, they're then going to pass this anecdote down to their downline. We see that playing out exactly as intended on this Zoom call. This designer wallet, this anecdote of this time they were flown out to see the CEO. That is something that these top earners in the company have in their back pocket now to just whip out anytime they need to give their team some motivation or to show them what's possible. And all of these theatrics just contribute to the fallacy that this opportunity is open for everyone, which is completely untrue because the business model does not allow for an equal opportunity for all.
I was just going to say, I think it was Desiree again. I was just scrolling through the chat. She had said, my kids are always like, you're always working, mom. Yeah, that was me. Two things. And I touched on this. I don't know what other call I did. You have to set boundaries for yourself. When you're working, you're working. When you're mom, you're mom. Like if you're tempted to even be on your phone, put it in a drawer, lock it away, turn it off, do something. If you can give 100% of yourself to like 30 minutes, you can get so much more done than like 30% of yourself over hours, right? So commit to boundaries. And then the second thing is have them make a vision board and dream board with you, because especially if they're young, if they can visualize what you guys are working for, when they see you working and they tie the two together, they understand. But then the thing is, like, you have to work for that, because I don't ever want to see my kids be disappointed. Like, wait, like this Bahamas tractor I have behind me, Jack's daughter's 16 and she always comes in. She's like, how's that coming? I want to go back to the Bahamas. And I'm like, okay, I'm working on it. Like, I'm working on it. I want to earn the trip for the whole family. Like it puts the pressure on, but I'm the type of person where I work well under pressure. And I think in this business, sometimes you kind of have to be that. So get used to being under pressure and just know, like they always say, like pressure builds diamonds or whatever it is, like that the most beautiful things will come out of the pressure that you put on yourself. So it is what it is. This is work. This is hard work, you guys, but it's so worth it. It just is. I don't have to sit here and talk your ear off. You guys know, but don't be the person who looks back in 6 months and say, I really wish I would have taken the last 6 months and ran with it. Don't be that person.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Not a single letter.
Nope.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to add on, ask questions, or Sam, if there's anything else?
I think I'm good.
Got me fired up. I'm ready to hit MMB again. You guys, it's the same exact motions. Like I said, you pretend like you're running for MMB. Your team's going to do what you're doing. And that's what we want. So model the behavior that you need out of everybody. And about the kids thing, dude, like, yeah, my kid and my husband thought I was insane for how many hours I put in until I took them on their first trip.
Yep.
So, and then they have not complained at all ever since. And my kid is wanting to go to Bahamas. She will go to Bahamas. She's determined. She's already bringing me kids from her school. Okay. Old enough, Annie, but nice try. Thank you. Give me the mom's number. So anyway, it's a family affair. I tell my husband, just like Sam does, what goals I'm going for.
She just said that her daughter, her school-age daughter, is bringing her prospects. And then she said it under her breath. I don't know if you caught it, but she was like, sorry, honey, you're not old enough, but bring me their mom's number. I cannot. That is ridiculous. Oh, you want to go to the Bahamas? Bring me all your friends' mom's phone number so I can recruit them into my pyramid scheme. Get out of here with that.
We have a family meeting before we hustle. And running for MMB, you guys, takes that. It does take that hard hustle. It's going to be a lot of hours, but you will reap the benefits better than a 30-hour week work. You know what I mean? the repercussions are huge. You can times your check by 100.
Yeah. Yep. Everything in life takes sacrifice. So you can be away from your kid at your job for the rest of your life, or you can be away from your kid for an hour at night and have the rest of your life with them on your own time. So that decision's yours.
That comment right there is really predatory and it grinds my gears. As my best friend's mom would say, that really fries my bacon. Shaming people for having to work a traditional job to provide for their family is never a good look. Remember what we're talking about here, okay? We are comparing a legitimate job with a guaranteed paycheck versus a business opportunity where over 90% of people in the company lose money. It's a very privileged viewpoint to assume that people do have the means to pursue an unstable business opportunity over going to work a traditional job. There's gonna come a point where that parent realizes that MONAT is not the financial savior they thought it was gonna be, and now they're gonna have to go back to working a traditional job, or they're gonna have to stay at the job they already have. And that does not make them a bad parent. This little backhanded comment of like, the decision is yours, whether or not you wanna work a disgusting 9 to 5, or if you wanna have time freedom and financial freedom with my pyramid scheme. I just really can't stand the parent shaming, where they try to make you feel like working from home with MONAT is the only way to be a present parent.
Absolutely. And show that you're having fun. If they see you miserable all the time, they're not going to want you to do it. They don't want you to be miserable.
Right.
So have the rewards and have the celebrations with them too. Include them in all of it.
Heck yeah.
My kid loved being in live videos. Like, she was not camera shy at all. So
that's funny. Finn does the same thing.
So if that's what it takes, All right. You guys are amazing. Thanks for getting on here tonight and spending your time with us. The people who show up are the ones who win. So kudos to you guys. Give yourselves a pat on the back and make every single day count, okay? You want to go to bed proud of what you did that day. Every single day, not every week, every day. Even if it's a day that you took off, be proud of what you did, recharge yourself, spend time with your family and your kids, remind them why you're doing what you're doing, and get back at it. No one else is going to make your dreams happen but you guys. All right. Thanks, you guys.
I feel like there's nothing I can say right now that I haven't already hammered home throughout this entire video. I am confident that by now you get the point. I think it's just really important to remember what it is that we're talking about here, and that's a business opportunity with no guarantee of anything, where the people at the top make the majority of the money, and the purpose of these kinds of calls is to get the people in the downline on board and to get them hitting certain goals so that the people at the top can stay at the top. And I want to end this video on a positive note. I had this comment left on one of my videos. It's been a long time since I've done a comment shout out. I was really good about it for a while and I just kind of forgot, but this is a video I posted a couple of weeks ago about the MONAT lifer trend that we're seeing on social media. Really cringy, really culty. Basically, a whole bunch of people in the company are committing themselves to staying with the company for life, and the company is condoning this and deleting anybody's comments who disagree. Love that. But Lauren commented on that video and says, "I pledge allegiance to MONAT and to the Hun who recruited me, and to the products which burn your scalp, one MONation, under God, reprehensible, with time freedom and profits for none." I just can't get over it. That comment made me cry. So good. That is the kind of comedic value we need at the end of these videos. Nice little palate cleanser to send you on your way for the rest of the day. I am always appreciative for the hilarious comments that you guys leave me. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in my next one real soon.